Good morning, Midnight's Edge fans. We're here to tell you that we have so much more to offer you now at our Mixed Tees store. Not just t-shirts and hoodies, but we do have plenty of those, and new designs for that matter. You can also get mugs, and of course our brand new limited Amber Turds stained blanket. That's right, just for your bed or wherever you need it. So head on over to Mixed Tees now and get all your apparel and goodies from Midnight's Edge.
Get up, wake up, this is your final warning. It's time for Midnight Edge in the morning. The gang is ready to go and it's time for the show. It's time for Midnight Edge in the morning.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Midnight's Edge in the morning. It's Friday. We have passed the middle of 2026, and we are just about to reach the point where the sun also turns and heads towards winter, at least in the northern hemisphere. Enjoy winter, all you guys in Australia. But yeah, that's the brief gist of where we are right about now. And joining me right there is Scribe Light. Happy to see you here on a Friday.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Congratulations for those of you that have the day off in America for our national holiday. And if you don't, I hope your workday goes smoothly.
Indeed. Also joining us in America, so evidently not having the day off, Mr. Chris Brawley.
Well, I am working from home, but I'm waiting on some freight to be delivered. So if I dip out for a minute, that's why. But I didn't know it was Juneteenth until somebody had to tell me. So it's not necessarily a holiday I look forward to or celebrate.
Yeah, I remember looking into what that was, but I forgot again. So yeah, but I guess that is today. So Mr. Chato, do you have Juneteenth up in Canada, or is it just like the two Sol and then the rest of the alphabet day?
Are you talking about Father's Day, or are you talking about that's coming up?
No.
Well,
no, Juneteenth is absolutely not Father's Day. I mean, that could not be further from the mark.
Juneteenth. Well, I know we've got Pride Month up here.
Yeah.
Which, we by law we have to adhere to, and
This Juneteenth commemorates the end of slavery, even though slavery.
oh, that no, we don't have that, but we did import a shit ton of your crazy American critical race theory stuff. We don't. I mean, we had some slaverish,
Yeah.
but apparently we have had to import your entire guilt catechism, everything, even though we have nothing to do with it.
Everyone had to do with that. Even
Yeah,
the countries in Europe that were enslaved ourselves for most of that thing still got all that guilt forced upon us.
We're taking
which,
the
of course,
knee.
is extremely selective.
Taking the knee.
Extremely selective and history list right there.
So yeah, we do not celebrate your June.
It's
9th.
funny, Paul, that so many people that hate America, that were born here, they're natives, so to speak, say as if it's a punishment to us, I'm moving to Canada. And they don't say I'm moving to Mexico. I mean, if you want to use a border country, right? I guess they think that they'll be more welcome in Canada or whatever. So I imagine there has been an exodus of the blue-haired virtue signalers that have come to the Great White North, and for that,
it's great to have them. Let me tell you, and there's some kind of program being set up in different states in the United States to have Canadian Jews emigrate to the United States away from our increasingly anti-Semitic country.
We welcome you.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Trust me, we are productive people. We've proven it over and over again.
I think for some, President Obama even opened a new apartment complex. I saw it yesterday. It's brutalist design, but seems very roomy.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, but Obama's funny. I'd live in the same apartment with him. I just wouldn't have anything to do with Michelle. I think she's evil.
She creeps me out.
She totally creeps me out.
I do believe that they are a package deal, so you're
Yeah.
probably not going to get one without the other. I mean, if you offend the man's wife, he's probably going to like say something like, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth and slap you," or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm not entirely sure she's letting him touch her anymore.
That would be speculation.
Not on Juneteenth, fellas. Not on Juneteenth, please.
Yeah, we'll save that for tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean,
But it's also Pride Month, and according to some accusations and stuff like that it is the time for it.
I have to say, I was a little bit surprised at the outrage at accusing anyone of being trans during Pride Month, because the people
During the Biden years, I mean, that should be a badge of honor, if anything.
that's what I was thinking. You know, it seems like the type of people that would embrace that identity are the ones that get the most upset when you accuse someone of being that identity.
well,
That's
well,
rhetorical.
we're in the middle of many versions of this, but things that become a movement, that become a business, eventually become a racket.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have noticed fewer rainbow flags on.
Oh, way fewer. Apart from the government and the school system, looks like businesses have pretty much abandoned it, which is all good news. I mean, the whole point when I was fighting for gay rights is normalization. That's really what we fought for.
Right.
Normalization, not supremacy.
Not polarization.
Well, I wouldn't call it supremacy. I would say special accommodation.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Or it's still normalization, but the matter of normalize what? That's the key question there.
Well, and it's really not the gay side that is causing the upheaval. It's the T plus side.
Yeah, those that came in later after they started.
Got into the Trojan horse and then decided to just keep driving it.
Yeah.
Well, I really think it's the allies more than the rest of them.
And I don't get the allies. I mean, this is all. I mean,
but before we get into the allies, we do have some allies of the good kind as well, such as Paulie from the Latinos Land.
I mean, not this morning. Let's talk movies, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now that you're
we're
here.
about to get into that.
Hey, listen,
to get into
the topic. I'm going to jump into it. I'm sorry, I get caught up in it.
Yeah.
Polly, is it chilly there?
Yeah, it's overcast.
Yeah,
it's overcast. Okay.
Anyway, and Paulie, since you are here, we do have a couple of super chats.
Angelinos, when it's
so
overcast,
we don't forget it. I want to get this one right away. Ike Cthulhu's been a member for 10 months. Says, please nuggy Paulie for his tax credit comment next time, Andre. They don't cost money. State was not getting that revenue to begin with.
I have no idea what is this about.
Yeah, no, we were talking about tax credits. You have and how the state of California is getting outcompeted when it comes to tax credits to incentivize film production in LA. Do you have any quick thoughts about that before?
Please nudge Paulie for his tax credit comment next time, Andre. They don't cost money. State was not getting that revenue to begin with.
Yeah, because that's the matter. Like because with tax credit, it's not that it's money you are. Well, it's like expected revenue that you are forfeiting for some other gain. So it's not money that you've got. You're
talking like when a movie films here in California.
Yeah.
Oh, the tax
credit, tax incentives.
Right. The state was not getting that revenue to begin with. Huh?
Okay, I see. Maybe we'll come back to that at some point later here.
The only way the state's not getting that any kind of revenue from a movie not filming here is if the movie's not filming here. If a movie's filming in the state, they're going to get revenue.
I think that's the point, Paulie. I think I could be wrong,
but that's I mean, that wasn't even my argument.
No, I agree, but I think what they're trying to say is that unless the tax credit was offered, no money was going to come in because the movie wasn't going to film there. But I don't think you ever made that sort of point.
No, we were talking how Wednesday, there was a slight increase in feature film productions. Well, 50% of the latest quarter, because all the headlines and all the nerd lords that run with it say Hollywood is dead. So it's like, ugh, we're doing this again. So I went and just showed some numbers, and at the end of the day, from top to bottom, when a production is in any state, not just California, any state, you're gonna get a lot of revenue uh, from from s- from industries that are supporting that film to directly supporting that film. So
Yep.
the benefit is that we need to push that so we can keep films being produced, not just in California, but I would say in America.
Mm.
So what
Because
happened to Trump's initiative? He rattled some sabers with regards to bringing back American movies
Well, he
to
even
America.
appointed
What happened with that?
ambassadors in John Voight and Stallone and
Gibson.
I forget Gibson. Yes,
Yeah.
Gibson.
yeah.
Yeah, we queried a lot of this on Wednesday. We missed you, Paul, and Paulie was making a lot of good points. I think it all stemmed from the Variety article that had Baywatch at the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
And which I think kind of circulated after we brought it up here. And,
I read that. So Baywatch is complaining that they can't make Baywatch in California, was what they concluded, right?
and there was another show. I don't. Maybe it was Baywatch, where at
It
the
was
last
Baywatch.
minute,
That was the key one. But of course, it's happened to others. But that was the high-profile one.
Yeah.
that's the latest one where the current mayor all of a sudden was able to lift permits.
yeah.
Magic.
Isn't that interesting? Maybe
Yeah.
she could lift herself out of this country. Oh, did I say that?
Oh,
Well, get me started. See, that's what I'm saying. Let's talk movies.
Ghana might take her.
You take her.
Ghana, yeah, she loves it.
But yeah.
I'm sorry that dude is not going to be part of the runoff for the next mayor. It would have been a much more interesting and fun bit of news.
Yeah.
He's not going away, and I mean, okay, all right. It's going to be very interesting if Hilton wins the governorship, because Hilton was leading on to where maybe we will give Pratt a position.
I
And when we talk
guarantee you.
about karma, a position to where Pratt oversees certain things beyond the LA City Council and the LA mayor.
I thought that would
would
make
be awesome.
perfect sense.
Yeah, it would make perfect sense. Because they're all right. I'm gonna stop. This will be another stream, Andre.
Yeah, indeed. We're gonna move on here. I could
Back to
totally
movies.
continues. Real quick, Wednesday, Paul, you said the tax credit cost the states billions. You misrepresent how it works. That's why I recommend Noogies.
You said
All
the
right.
tax credit cost the state billions. I mean, they lose.
Well,
Billions.
they lose more if there's no one is coming. I mean, that's what we've done in Norway to a large sort of things. Like, for instance, the series Vikings with Ragnar Lothbrok and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They wanted to film it in Norway, but then the Norwegian state, they were like, "Oh, we give us money. We're going to tax you." They basically chased them away, like they chase everyone away. So they ended up with Ireland instead. They lost so many productions that way.
Wow.
And oh yeah, for sure, it doesn't benefit anyone. I mean, it's the same reason. Like, for instance, you have like several sequences in Marvel movies that take place in Norway, like Tønsberg, stuff like that. Nothing is filmed there. Same reason. It's tax credits. It's chased away by the government.
So thank you for the super chat. But if I did misspeak, I do apologize. But tax credits cost the state billions if it's lost money on the table. What's so fascinating about this time right now, that you're seeing how the sausage gets made in regards to from obsession in the back rooms, just really like starting the upheaval. and everyone is throwing in their 2 cents, which I think is fantastic. If you guys get to follow filmmakers on X, but in regards to this, you know, these have to be implemented. You know, there needs to be, you know, huge incentive for these studios to keep the production share. And I said that's probably not going to happen with television, because television, which is why you're seeing South Africa, Ireland, all these other countries thrive. But for indie films and then studio films, it's easier for them to maybe switch it up. But back to your thing with Trump and all, I think that effect is probably a little more kind of like the Ellison thing that's happening. Those mergers.
That's a different video. But Chris, you wanted your word before we move on here.
How these tax credits cost the states. Some of them are refundable tax credits. Like, in other words, if a studio owes zero in state taxes, but they qualify for like a $10 million refundable tax credit, the Treasury has to send them a check.
Yep.
So that costs them money. Then there's transferable tax credits where the studio allows the studio to sell the tax voucher. So, and obviously that's going to be used, like if they use that towards a bank or a power company or something like that. And then there's direct cash rebates and grants. So, I mean, yes, it does cost the states. I don't want anybody getting the idea, nuggy or not, that it's just sort of here's a credit towards what you owe us, so now you don't owe us as much. That's not always the case, because sometimes there's nothing owed. So the production gets a credit, which is sometimes in the form of a check.
And they'll get it after the fact.
Right. But it's still, the state paid that.
Right. And that's that's going to be the case with The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, as what they've declared is that from that 165, that 170 that was spent, they should get a check back to where it lowers it to the 140s.
Got it.
Which is pretty competitive for, you know, like a big film like that, as far as, you know, what they spent on.
Indeed. With that, though, we only have Scribe Light for a limited time. Of course, I know we have several here for a limited time, but we have Scribe Light for the most limited time. And I know that Scribe Light, like me, has seen a movie that probably none of you others have had time to see yet, because it was released on Amazon and other streaming platforms on video on demand only today. That would be Citizen Vigilante, about which Dark King says for $2 is Citizen Vigilante the sequel to Citizen Kane?
No, but it really felt at the beginning like it might be the sequel to Boondock Saints, because where Boondock Saints left off is almost how this movie begins, at least with some exposition type stuff.
It may be the Citizen Kane of Uwe Boll.
Admittedly, I have not
either
seen
either that or Rampage.
I was about to say of all the Uwe Boll movies I've seen, and I haven't seen that many, admittedly, but of the ones that I've seen, I still think Rampage is still his best overall film. So I watched this morning, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, tell us, what is it about? Because I'll be just to set you up. Like I said on X. On the Midnight's Edge. Let's see, what did I say? I said Citizen Vigilante, out today across digital platforms, is timely beyond words and the most based movie ever to have based in the history of baseness. Everyone, especially in Europe, needs to see it. And I do feel that this movie probably is going to hit all that much harder in Europe right now, because Europe is in absolute turmoil because of excessive immigration and also two-tier policing, not just in the UK, but across the continent, where basically the native population are second-class citizens who can be victimized, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so this was written, directed, and produced by Uwe Boll, and it's obviously a catharsis on his part about what's been taking place in Europe over many years now. So I can so to whittle it down, it's about a man, an American, who is in. I don't know if they ever explicitly say what country they're in. It was filmed in Croatia, but
It was
he's
filmed in Croatia, and there's
it just says it's
signs
Europe.
and stuff.
Yeah.
It says Europe, but the keen observer can tell right away.
Sure.
Croatia. Yeah.
And so he is effectively a real estate mogul, for lack of a better phrase, who is ostensibly just tending to his family's interests in Europe and checking out buildings and things. There's a whole subplot of him managing his properties and such. At the same time, though, he has decided to become a one-man justice machine for the people of Europe writ large, for what the system is not doing, and taking up the slack for what should happen. So it is quasi-Punisher, in a way. There's a lot of Uwe Boll jank, for lack of a better phrase, to the filmmaking and the storytelling process. And the most controversial stuff in the film about the anti-immigration aspect of it comes primarily from inserts of news reports. And of course, the last scene, the last sequence, is the most on point when it comes to that. A lot of the stuff he's doing is kind of basic, you have a crime lord and he takes them out. You have some juvenile delinquents that he teaches a lesson to. Yeah, that part. Yeah, I think Paul would probably like that part. There's some sort of like, mind your manners or I'll come back and visit you, and then they don't mind their manners, and he does come back and visit them, and that was kind of funny.
Paul hates kids, but you guys got to remember we're kids to him.
That's true. That's true. Everyone's a kid.
And I hate you.
So the thing that fascinated me the most was like, this is Armie Hammer. I was just like, what a fall from Lone Ranger. And this is where he is. The last I heard about Armie Hammer, he's working at like a beach resort at the desk or something after he couldn't get any more acting jobs. He does, for what it was, he does a serviceable job. Costas Mandalorian is in this. I haven't seen him since the Saw movies. He did his best European accent. It was okay. It felt very a low budget Grindhouse kind of thing. Kind of the old school exploitation kind of Death Wish kind of thing.
Yeah, guerrilla filmmaking is the term.
Oh yeah. Oh, you could tell.
That's what it was. This is basically like it's a fun story here because that's the gist of the movie. And the funny thing, this was very guerrilla. You see, they're going around the streets of Croatia and filming. They don't have permission to do that.
Oh, you could tell. And that was something I was thinking about as I watched it. I thought, there's no way that they didn't just turn on a camera and film this, a car driving down the street.
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah, it really felt that way. You could tell that this was a very shot by the hip, almost probably literally in a lot of the sequences, and like the big APCs driving down the street. I'm like, they didn't have a permit to do that. Come on. Or some of the other things that they were doing or filming.
Yeah, or the exteriors of buildings. Like, so I found a random building, like pretending it's Armie Hammer's and filming that without asking the owner. Yeah, they totally did that.
I did appreciate that. I was like, this is less than a shoestring. This is just the aglet that is running this show. If you know what an aglet is, and if you know what an aglet is, then you watched Repossessed. But anyway,
what did Armie Hammer being
I've
part
seen
of this
that.
is, I think, significant, right? I mean, I think that at least the casting wasn't completely amateur all the way around.
I just want to know what
the casting was brilliant. The local talent I thought was fantastic. I also think it's a stroke of genius.
Say the little boy,
Hammer.
The little boy in the opening sequence, not a great actor. Just no, it was bad. No.
Yeah, that whole setup thing.
Powerful opening scene. Otherwise,
it looked like the tear on his face might have been digitally added. I'm not sure.
Blood definitely was.
Yeah. And
the blood.
Opening
scene
then, because this is basically just so everyone gets what we're talking about here. The opening scene is a mother and son in Europe. Just normal single mother, presumably, of which there are plenty of in Eastern Europe, who goes shopping with her son, loving normal mother, and suddenly she is killed in front of the son, stabbed through the neck. And this is something that's happened often, just random knife attack by an African immigrant, just for shits and giggles. kills the mother in front of the boy. That sets the tone for the entire movie, which is about the failed immigration policy. And it couldn't be more timely, because this is what is going on across Europe right now. It's the victimization.
Yeah, it's ripped
totally. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought that this thing was written and filmed and released in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
because
it's definitely hitting
timely.
the zeitgeist. It is hitting the European zeitgeist right now, and
I think a little bit the American as well.
Yeah,
but I definitely it's going to hit harder in Europe.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's going to cause controversy because it is one of those.
It's already banned in Germany.
It's going to be, because it is showing an ugly truth and maybe kind of sensationalizing a little bit, but it's not making up anything, right?
It's not being
deceived.
Only sensational thing is the American vigilante coming to clean things up. We don't have that in reality. Yeah. That's the only sensationalization. Everything else that you see there, if anything, is downplayed compared to all the shit that's happening in reality.
Here's what it reminded me of. In 2022, Chuck Dixon's buddy, Mike Barron, wrote a comic book, graphic novel called Private American.
Yes.
And it was a former Green Beret who lived on the Texas border, and one of his friends got killed by the drug traffickers there, and the government under Biden, of course, wasn't doing anything to stop it. As a matter of fact, they were welcoming these migrants in, and he said, I'm going to at least stop the human and drug traffickers, the fentanyl dealers and all that. And he goes, Punisher meets Death Wish after these guys, and it got banned off Kickstarter for stochastic terrorism or whatever. And this is by people who hadn't read the book yet, because if you know anything about Kickstarter, that's usually done to raise funds to do the printing and production. So nobody could have read the book, but it was called a racist AF book. And if you know what AF stands for, I think you know what I mean. But this is the same thing. It's going to be hard to look at from some people, for some people, and others are going to get potentially radicalized. They're going to get angry at it, but it's definitely in the zeitgeist, and he's hit it right at the right time. I think I would agree with you, Andre.
Yeah, that opening sequence. Now, so I'm watching this, and I'm not a European, obviously, and so I'm watching a UV Bowl film, and that opening sequence almost exists in its own little space in the movie, because I don't know that it's referred back to again. But yeah, it's a very sort of, you're being set up. Like, I knew I was being set up for something. And then when the attack happens and it's also violent, I like I say, it felt reflexively, I felt like, this is very sensationalized and everything else. But that was my sort of thoughtless, instinctive reaction. And then I have to remind myself, no, this has happened over and over again in real life just within the last 2 months. This is not sensationalized. This is, I mean, you could have used this. And I thought this, as soon as it ended, I thought, that sequence anyway, I thought you could have used this as the opening sequence to an episode of Law and Order Europe, because it is ripped from the headlines. It is the same. I mean, and it doesn't have to be any more specific than people just minding their own business on a street in Europe, and suddenly somebody pulls out a knife and starts going stab happy. And
it's just unsanitized.
Okay. I believe this has happened on the train in the States as well. Although it happened to happen to a European woman, but yes.
Yeah. And so everything after that, I had to sort of change my perspective, because I'm not just watching an exploitive UV Bowl movie. It is his, like I said, it's his catharsis. It's his anger and his frustration over things that any normal person would think, this can't be happening. Why is this being allowed to happen? And so as a treatise on the problems in Europe specifically, and on the immigration problem, it's going to have more impact in that sense, I think, than as the quality of the film overall. Because if you look at the film by itself, like I say, kind of janky. The narrative's a little bit all over the place. The jumping between time is a little bit confusing, and some of the logic of the characters doesn't make any sense. But that's completely beside the point. This is his essay. This is his commentary and editorial on what's going on. And that last scene, that last sequence alone specifically is that's gonna cause a whole bunch of conversations.
People are either going to love and hate. Like I spoke with Uwe Boll. The interview is going to come out as soon as I finish editing it, and that scene is the one that people either love or absolutely hate. So that's Not going to spoil anything, but let's just say for those who are frustrated with how things are, it's extremely cathartic. Put it that way. Yes, absolutely. And I think, I agree with your point. Like in terms of like production values, this is a guerrilla production.
Yes, very much.
This is a no-budget guerrilla production, and all the money that went into making it is on screen. Absolutely,
yeah,
all
certainly, and money that didn't need to be spent at all because it was all just filmed. Like catch as catch can. It's like, well, there's a building, film it, move.
Yeah. But I appreciate that. I mean, this is a real movie. This is an independent production, and to me, being in Europe, so I'm a little bit biased for that reason. But to me, this movie captures the spirit of the year 2026.
Fair enough.
Well, the critics hate it, for the record.
Oh, sure.
I would be shocked if they didn't, because this is a movie that goes as blatantly against the message as you possibly can do. Like, this makes it clear that no, diversity is not a strength, benefit, virtue, or anything else.
Look at the gangs, grooming gangs in the UK. They hid them for 20 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because they were embarrassed to be called racist.
Yep.
And only yesterday, a 3-year-old was literally thrown to the crocodiles in the UK.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. It's like there's this zoo, and then a dude came and lifted up a 3-year-old.
We don't know who did it, but the press won't say.
Right.
Correct. The press won't say who did it.
So automatically everybody's assuming.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem you have now.
Well, that's right. The press is the sanitation department.
And I don't know. I watched a movie yesterday, and none of this shit was in Toy Story.
And where are crocodiles naturally found in the UK?
Well, in the zoo. Where this was. Yeah.
Zoos.
Yes, correct. I mean, we have them in Norway as well, but but so yeah. But no, anyway, I think that this movie is a tremendously interesting experience, both as showcase in guerrilla filmmaking, but also as political commentary.
Yes,
because we have been proselytized with a certain message for basically forever, but especially for the past decade. And that has led to the absolute destruction of all things Hollywood entertainment. It's also been pretty detrimental to society at large. And what's so interesting with this movie is that it is the reaction to that very messaging, because it's not the literal opposite, as in this is forcing a message upon you. No, this is just showing you this is reality. This is what is going on. What are you going to do about it? Which is exactly why it is so controversial with critics, and why the critics are going to absolutely freaking hate it, because this goes up against everything that they have been championing. And not only that, it low-key encourages the populace to take a stand and push back.
Well, I don't even know if low key is that. It's pretty blatant.
Okay, fine. You're right.
It is
blatant.
It's him doing his V for Vendetta speeches on TV, telling people it's like, you need to stand up and defend yourselves.
I'm going to look at it from a cinematic point of view. I don't know if this is your interest. Did you ask him what kind of camera gear he would use to be able to do this in a guerrilla fashion?
No, because I don't have
like, what the fuck use are you? Jesus Christ, Andre.
Jeez, nerd, loser nerd card.
Like, if you're
Andre,
going to do this, I want to know what is
again. See if he has to follow up. Have you on the next time?
Jesus, Murphy, was he using a Sony FX30? I mean, like, I want to know.
Don't take that shit from Chato. Shut up, Chato. Don't take that shit from Andre. Don't take that shit, Andre.
Yeah.
Jesus, Murphy. I want to know how you get away with something like this. I mean, I was shooting a movie, and the actors weren't quite in place, and we were just sort of like putting the film together. And then suddenly I saw this giant bus of Japanese tourists in the background, everyone pouring out with cameras on their, around film cameras. This was a while ago, and I just yelled at the cameraman and the actors, man, places. We're going to use this as background, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was
Free production value.
You got to use free backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic stuff. That is.
Watch out, man.
Computers.
Uni will come in and double your damn budget because you're saying shit like that.
Yeah. We had a couple of questions here as well before we move on to the other movie that came out today to significantly bigger numbers. Dark King wondered, is Citizen Vigilante anything like Taken? More realistic, but beyond that, there's both are the shady side of Europe. Absolutely.
Yeah.
How is Chris broadcasting from last night?
What?
It doesn't look day where he is. It looks like it's dead of the night.
Oh, he's in his lair.
Basement office.
Yeah, he's in his
I'm
lair.
waiting for him to tell me about aliens and ghosts and shit.
Yeah.
There
And
you go.
Drew Tipton says, never thought I'd see the day Uwe Boll gets praise. Actually, that day happened in 2009 when even the critics were shocked to admit Uwe Boll actually made a good movie in the guise of Rampage.
Yeah.
Because that was the consensus at the time. It's like, who would have thought Uwe Boll actually delivered a genuinely good movie? Because no one.
Well,
has
I mean, not only
anything
that. I mean, for
Rampage.
whatever else you say about the guy, he's done at least 50 films or near to over the course of his career.
Something
he's had,
ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, some ridiculous number of films. He's had name known actors, like Ben Kingsley was in a Uwe Boll movie, for crying out loud.
Jason Statham.
Yeah, no, this is. I mean, you want to talk about a prolific a director who he gets stuff done. He makes things happen. Like, things exist that would not have if he hadn't decided to do it. Citizen Vigilante is just the most recent example, and he's got like 4 or 5 other movies on deck. I look at his filmography right now. So for whatever else you can say about the guy, hey, he's a working man. He makes things happen.
He gave
And to his credit, like the stuff that YouTubers that are taking the step into film production are getting praised for right now, he did literally exactly what they're doing now. He did 20 years ago. He didn't do it as well, but he did it.
That's the thing. But yeah, but Rampage shows that he has the ability to make a decent movie. It's just unfortunate that it's the diamond in the rough in relative terms, but still, hey.
Yeah.
Not every musician gets remembered for their whole album. Sometimes it's just that single.
Indeed. So yeah, but anyway, to me, I think that Citizen Vigilante is a movie everyone should give a watch, because there's going to be something for you in it. And if it isn't, well, join the choir of critics that absolutely hate it. But there was another movie that came out here as well. Drew Tipton says for $9.99, Toy Story is the movie that made me an artist. To me, it's just a trilogy. Also happy to see the TS games, Toy Story games I grew up with, are coming to Steam this November, even the handhelds. Oh, cool. Toy Story for the Sega Mega Drive was pretty darn awesome. I do have to say that. And before we get into the review for Toy Story, because we have a couple of people here who did actually see that, let's talk a little bit about the box office, because we do have the Thursday numbers in, and they're pretty darn impressive. Deadline Hollywood
I can see that, yeah.
Toy Story 5 previews ring up 17.5 million. Best for franchise, 2026 year to date, and second best for animated pick. Now, I said going in that this thing is going to be huge, because even my kids want to see it, and they have never seen Toy Story before. But there is some kind of hype because they want to see it. Well, that hype evidently is real, because 17.5 in Thursday previews, that's insane
Yep.
Tom, what was your experience in the theater?
I loved this movie. It was an amazing tale of friendship, love, and what it is to grow up, and what it's like being a kid and all these things. And I loved it, especially when I saw it 32 years ago. This is the same exact movie with just Jesse and Lily Pad replacing Woody and Buzz. And there's enough little new things sprinkled in here so most people won't notice that. But really, it's just The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens wrapped into one. It does everything it can to demasculize the original male toys.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, please.
No, it really does.
Oh,
it
please.
really does.
Well,
Like, even
well, Chato
Shato
saw it also.
saw the movie as well.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
okay, I thought you were
please.
kidding.
No.
No, let's.
Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Buzz is the bride. That's all I know.
Yeah. So
Uh,
it's the imagination of the girl.
Anyway, this movie is a wretched shithole, but people are going to eat it up.
Excellent movie. Excellent movie.
Oh, there you go.
Excellent movie for kids.
Boy.
Well, it's
Toy
certainly a
Story 5,
huge
Wretched Shithole. Midnight.
Yeah. No. Wretched shithole and an excellent movie. So you'll be the judge.
An excellent shithole.
32 years ago, because it is the exact same
Yeah.
fucking
It's
movie.
a story of friendship and love.
I basically wrote that in my
yeah.
review. It's a repeat of the first movie.
I feel like
Tom
I'm
had
watching
me
this
going,
Siskel and
man.
Ebert.
I was like, oh shit, he loved it. It's like 3 movies in a row. No.
Oh, no. I
I knew he
I
was
felt
kidding.
insulted by this movie.
This
And you
so
guys
I-
got to understand, like, the first movie came out when I was a teenager, but I have a special place for it because it was the first movie I took a real date to,
Oh.
right? It was an actual date. So we went to see Toy Story because it was the only movie I could think of that we probably wouldn't argue over, and everybody was seeing it.
Now I
No
know
matter
you're
what age you
lying.
were.
Now
No,
I
it's
know you're
fucking
lying.
truth.
Ah,
Her name was Kathy.
her
Anyway,
name was Lola.
yeah. No, there was so much in this movie that made me feel like you're doing everything you can to try and make Woody and Buzz look dumb, old, or stupid. And yes, I said dumb and stupid on purpose because, yeah, if they're not acting dumb, they're acting stupid. And they literally do absolutely fucking nothing in the movie.
Correct.
But look like bumbling fools throughout the entire film. And then there's this other side story that's only there just so they can have an army of Buzzes show up at one point in the film that has absolutely nothing to do with anything else and is actually more entertaining than anything in this movie.
Yep.
And that should actually be its own fucking like separate thing because that was actually entertaining. And that's the way the movie starts. Actually, it starts with that whole storyline, and then that just cuts to that throughout the entire film without any rhyme or reason until when at some point they're all going to cross over, which they do.
Yeah. They've just been playing the same song though every film just about because it's who's better, Buzz or Woody, and the kids are growing up and they're not playing with their toys anymore. I mean, isn't that sort of the theme of every Toy Story movie?
Well, the first 3 movies have a method, which is problem, plan, failed plan, get out of the problem that the failed plan caused,
Just in
make
time.
another plan.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the Toy Story method.
Yeah.
And they did a good job of filling those holes in executing this in a workmanlike way to create a movie that is not the best Toy Story by any stretch of the imagination, but is eminently entertaining and covers off a really important topic. And that is, yes, screens replace Buzz, but screens are evil. And this movie goes really hard on girls, especially not talking to each other and being really mean and cruel to each other through chat.
But it doesn't really ever address that. It doesn't really ever do anything to really
shows it. It shows
it, but it doesn't do anything about it really.
It doesn't
And at the end of the
need
day,
to.
the
It sure
problem
does.
with that, no, it doesn't,
One
because at the
girl,
end of the
it
day,
does through Bonnie.
but Lily is still considered a good character by the end. Spoilers. That's the problem I have with the film. is you're
Only
saying the
because
movie
she
that's not
threw
there.
herself out. She sacrificed.
Yeah, but they
herself.
embrace technology by the end. That's the whole point. Like, anyway, that's why I said it's the exact same movie as the first one.
Well, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because
so basically, you are, yeah. What I'm hearing is that you are agreeing on the specifics, but you disagree on the evaluation of it.
So okay, if we're
Well, I know-
making a comparison between the J.J. Abrams The Force Awakens copy of A New Hope, that was eminently cynical and unrewatchable. This, while it follows the same, as you said, it follows a lot of the same kind of plot pointing stuff as the first movie. This is at least entertaining and has value, even if it missteps here and there. Woody didn't need to be in here at all. How did Bo Peep suddenly get legs when she was a ceramic lamp? I mean, there's way too many toys in her room. They don't get any kind of air to be able to talk with each other. There's lots of things wrong with this, but I would say it went pretty hard on like that one pan at night of all these kids' rooms, and all you saw was the blue glow of a device that they're sucked into, and then the party she goes to, and all the three girls, all they do is sit in the same room, preoccupied with their own devices. I don't think you needed much more. I think that was a pretty good message. I think it's going to embarrass an awful lot of parents when they see this movie. I think it's strong. I think there are moments in here that worked really well, but not everything worked.
Well, and yeah, it's real good. They pull some of the old knowing how to tug at your heartstrings shit that Pixar does. But I didn't fall for that shit. That was my issue. I didn't fall for it because I've seen it before.
Sure, but the audience will.
Clearly.
And
I said this to everybody yesterday.
Yeah, and to me, I'm looking at it, I mean, slightly from executive producer head, where I'm going, I enjoyed this movie enough, and I understand that I give them credit for creating something that I'm pretty sure is going to be popular, like way, way better than most of the stuff that they've done. So, does it have fully the John Lasseter touch where he fusses every single moment? On the other hand, why is she playing with a 70-year-old doll? Like there's a ton of stuff in here that, I just lost my guitar pick, but I can deal with it. I will deal with it later. It can stay on the floor. Panic averted. So, from a business point of view, I think they did a marvelous job. Good enough. And certainly Conan O'Brien as the potty training toy was very funny.
It was weird.
Yeah. But so speaking of...
So we agree in many things. We're just not emotional.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing is that the audiences are going to eat this up.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, I'm seeing this. See, here's my issue with Pixar. Their initial gimmick was, we're going to take a popular... They're basically Paul Feig's. They take a popular story or an idea and they kidify it. And they generally add some kind of twist to it, whether it's a toy, a bug, or what have you. Because Toy Story is basically like Lethal Weapon, right? Bug's Life is basically like, Seven Samurai or Magnificent Seven, whichever one you want to compare it to. And I mean, we all know Cars is Doc Hollywood, almost scene for scene, beat for beat. The only difference is a car instead of a doctor. Like, I mean, you get down the road, like all these movies are the same thing. Now we've gotten to a point where they're literally remaking one of their own movies. And that's where I'm sitting here watching this going, this is just full of manipulation. It's just full of the type of shit that you'll expect to see. It's paint by numbers.
But that's what a movie is.
Well, yes,
is
manipulation.
But
okay, sorry.
I was just going to say, Toy Story has a lot of avenues it has not explored yet. And here's one issue I've always had with the movie, is that boys don't get rid of their toys usually. And if they end up losing them, they spend the rest of their life searching on eBay for that toy. See, there's a movie in here that we're never going to get to see, and that is the story of Woody going back to Andy. Because Andy is probably desperately trying to get Woody back in some way, shape, or form, whether it's the original Woody he had or some other one at this point in his life.
Sure, right? Because there's a YouTube nostalgia show with all his other mannequins and DVDs and everything else, and he wants to go back and get his collectible. So
instead of treating Buzz and Woody like this, why not do that part of that story? You can still tell the Jessie story.
but that's it.
The Jessie story was fine.
Sure, but Jessie can have her own story because this is a Bond. Like the first 3 movies were an Andy movie, not Buzz and.
But it's the same fucking story as the first one.
No, but it's through the eyes of Jessie, through the eyes of Bonnie.
It would be better if it was just about the growing up. It's not about the growing up, and this is why I don't agree with you on the lily pad part, because they don't actually resolve that. It's still kind of left out there, and I kind of get it because parents can't do anything about it now. But from the start, they set Bonnie up as this child who's not into it to begin with. But by the end of the movie, they're basically integrating it into her life, right? Which I get it. That may happen in real life. But at this point, I'm saying like the better message in this movie is get off the fucking iPad and go find a friend. That is fine. I'm fine with that message in the film. Yes. But it's also throughout this convoluted mess of a story that doesn't really resolve itself very well. And this is why I still feel like they've been, it's a better film than part 4. Yes.
Yeah,
but
one of the most powerful parts of this is that she had to find a friend who was capable of playing. The initial group of friends that she fell into, who were sucked into this pad land, were never going to change. That's a tragedy.
Yeah.
Like it would have been
another
interesting if
tragedy
one of those...
here is that we are sadly losing Scribe Light. So,
I did want to say something real quick though. I did want to. I want to say something.
Sorry.
I guess I'll ask a question before I leave because I haven't seen the film, so I'm just getting from what you guys are saying. But if I'm being cynical, and I can't help myself, it feels more like this is a soft reboot meant to save the franchise from the failure that was Lightyear, and still try to recapture the things that made the whole franchise popular in the first place. And it's been 7 some odd years since the last Toy Story movie. Has it? Toy Story 4 came out in 2018, 19, something.
Hey, this is Chris.
Oh, hi, Chris.
Sorry, Chris.
So I could understand if they're trying to make up for mistakes in the past and Disney's still trying to merge their way out of some of the wokeness that permeated other things. It sounds like this is more like a compromise play to try to save the franchise more than anything else, regardless of how the story might be hashing out.
I agree with you probably. And the problem with that, though, is they're not endearing themselves to the classic fans the way they're treating Woody, and specifically by making Buzz so goddamn gay. I don't even believe he wants Jessie. Right? Like, that's the thing. Is like, okay. I've gotten to this point with the movie I'm watching it going, are these the same characters? I mean, they make Woody fat. How does a toy get fat?
Okay, I gotta go. I appreciate
take care.
having me on. Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Have a good weekend.
Good seeing you.
And everybody in the chat, if you haven't already, be sure to go subscribe to Paul Chatto's channel and Latino Slant.
Not anymore.
Oh, not anymore.
No, I'm kidding. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wait, what'd you do to your channel?
Also, Bleeding Phil, my channel. My channel's not worth paying attention to. It's fine.
You're doing fine.
I'm doing fine. Everybody have a good rest of your day off if you have the day off. Sorry?
Thank you.
You do the TED Talks.
Yeah.
I did one last night that basically broke my brain.
What was it about in order to achieve something like that?
So it was, as I put on my thumbnail, it was redefinition number 4,762 of masculinity.
Oh,
wow.
And I have to say, and I mean no hyperbole by this, there's probably only one other TEDx talk I've ever reviewed, and this is out of hundreds, that frustrated me more with the contradictions and just absolute absence of logic coming out of the speaker's mouth. It was something else. And I've watched a lot of masculinity things before.
Yeah.
So.
Was the speaker, by any chance, Elliot Page, the paragon of modern masculinity?
No. This was a very well-fit Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner who was very apologetic to all the women in the room who might think he might be a misogynist for trying to be supportive of men. It was really something to see.
Wow.
I know. Anyway, everybody, have a good weekend. Nice to see you guys, and I'll see you later.
Take care, sir.
Okay.
So yeah, no, nothing I say is going to affect this movie, right? Like, so I'm not even.
Or me neither.
You know, and it's going to make all the money.
It's going to make
probably
all
going to be one of
the
the biggest
money,
movies
clearly.
of the year.
Yeah.
Now the audience didn't like. There was an audience there, and I went to my podunk shit theater. And here's the other thing that pissed me off: is they jacked up the price. Now I guess they did it overall, but I can't help but feel like it wasn't because of this movie. right? Like it's weird. It's like all of a sudden they jack up the price. This is one I've been talking about forever. That's been $5. Now they jacked it up to $8. So I'm like, it's not that much more, but it still kind of pissed me off. And I don't know. It just, the movie's going to do fine. So whatever. It's good for Disney on that behalf. But is it better than Toy Story 4? Yes, but I still can't recommend it overall. I did not like it nearly as much, obviously, as Paul did.
Better than Motu?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not that bad as far as like how it treats the original characters. But it is like, look, I thought that the giving Woody a bald spot was clever because, paint wears off and all that kind of stuff. But they make the joke so many fucking times in the movie, and it's constantly reminding Woody that he's old.
Yeah. Woody is a worthless add-on in this movie.
He is.
It would have been better to not include him at all.
I agree with Paul in that. Like, if you'd have had him as just like a cameo and then set him up for something else in the future.
Yeah. So,
because like I said,
so what's her name calls him briefly. I need help. And he says, I'm busy. And
she doesn't even actually ask him for help. That's the fucked up part. Right? He just assumes that's what she means because he catches two things she says.
You're right. She should be asking for help and he's not available. That would have been a better thing. And then don't include him at all because everything he was in was worthless.
Because Buzz is actually justified in some of his feelings, even though it's some of it's miscommunication. Right? Like that's the thing that was kind of bothering me throughout the film too, is like Buzz is being very proactive, but it's to the point where he becomes almost fucking cuckboy. Right?
Yeah. But
where'd Paul go? Paulie go.
Paulie is. So the thing is, it's a rich experience, not a thin experience. And my point is, I don't think it's going to disappoint an awful lot of people. It is not an insulting movie. It's a rich experience with a very good point about devices and the addiction. And I think that's worthwhile. I was really, and there's some surprises in there and some very funny moments. And I didn't particularly like, the other girl who played stuff. I was fairly neutral about.
See, I actually thought she was a better character than Bonnie.
Yeah, Bonnie bothered me, but anyway, the movies I felt okay with the movie. I didn't feel dirtied by it.
Well, and Bonnie to me is just coming off as a character that is just kind of, it's not that I don't like her. It's just that she doesn't really have a personality.
No, and
she's
it was
all the toys.
And it was really horrible to see how easily she was manipulated by the girls, the mean girls, let's call them.
Right. And that was my issue, is that nothing was ever done with that to resolve it.
That would have been nice. I completely, this is why I made the point where how come none of those girls found the power of play?
The most they did was they had again, minor spoilers. They had some neighbor kids that she attempted to try and communicate with in some way, shape or form earlier in the film. They finally get involved. Yeah, they finally get involved in her life because they see her playing with this other girl. That's cool. But my point is you didn't see, at least with Lilo and Stitch for a good example, right? Like all those girls that treat Lilo like shit, they end up getting their comeuppance by the end of the film, right? None of that happens here.
They were NPCs.
Yes. And the worst part is Bonnie almost is too. That's my problem with it, is she doesn't really have a character. In fact, the Blaze character, her new friend or whatever, the other, girl, she's got more of a character than Bonnie does. In the 20-30 minutes we get to know her in the film.
But
we've been following Bonnie now for 3 movies almost.
In the first 3 movies, Andy is kind of a cipher also.
He is. But at that point, at least we know a little bit about Andy though, right? Like through his play and other things. And we do get a little bit of Bonnie through her play, but it's more or less just kind of like what Andy did, only the girl style. Right?
Yep.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, but what you're describing is something that still makes it a worthwhile experience. The first movie was done in 1990s sometime.
95, like I said, 32 years ago.
95.
95, yeah.
So, like I said, if my comparison is A New Hope and the rise of the whatever.
I didn't say Rise of Palpatine. I said The Last Jedi.
No, I'm talking about the first J.J. Abrams one.
Yeah.
The Force Awakens.
Yeah, Force Awakens.
So this is a far better version than the Force Awakens copy of A New Hope. That's all I'm saying.
Yes and no. I still feel like
Yeah,
there's a
there's
lot of the
parts of it
issues
you don't like. That's fine.
It's not just so much that I don't like it. I think a lot of people are going to overlook it and they're going to be like, well, that's fine or whatever. And I don't see that as so much of an issue as, you know, as far as like if people enjoy the film, that's fine. But my problem is the message it's going to be sending to Disney. Because I kind of agree with Scribe when he said that this movie was kind of being, or was that you, Chris, who said it? I mean, I think it was Scribe. Basically said that this was being made as a makeup for the shitstorm that was Lightyear, right? And I think a lot of that also goes to Toy Story 4, even though it was a hit, you know, theatrically. I'm sure they know that it was not received as well as the first three films.
I don't think they care.
I think they care a little bit. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought that old school Pixar pedigree
I have a
back
bigger issue with this film that no one's brought up.
What's that?
It's too fucking dark.
As far as
It's
Story-wise or visually?
This movie does not have the candy color, bright, colorful experience of the other movies. This is suddenly become, wow, I can't see what's going on in this frame. Why
that
is
might be
this
a
so
your
dark?
theater thing, because I didn't have an issue with that so much. The other thing I did notice, though, that kind of stuck out more to me was like the fact that we've come from 95 to now is how realistic things are
Yes,
looking
that was my other point.
in the real world.
Was they overdid the depth of field. They overdid.
Okay, I can see what you're saying there.
It's
but
just,
I didn't feel like it was dark. I mean, I could see what was going on in the frame.
well, it was dark for me.
Maybe it was your screening, because I was going to say I could see what was going on, but I didn't like the overall cinematography because it made it look
I
too
didn't like
realistic.
It was too realistic. I completely agree.
Yeah.
This is part of the darkness. Like they're in the room. Okay, who cares? I don't need to see it in that much shadow. Let's show some stuff. Like, big deal. You know, it drove me
this
crazy.
movie's very realistic looking in that sense. I agree. I can see where you're coming from in that respect. That as far as the lightness, darkness aspect of it, I didn't notice that part.
Yeah,
and usually I'm gonna somebody who bitches about that. But
they matched the things the way the cars looked. They matched an awful lot of the exterior stuff to the original Toy Story. The way, you know, the volume of the cars and the way they kind of worked. I mean, that was all pretty good. But anyway, yeah, I mean, overall, my feeling was this was going to have hit written all over it.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to argue that at all. And most people will enjoy it. I mean, especially like grandparents taking their kids and grandkids and whatnot. And most parents are going to enjoy it.
If a single parent goes, damn, I'm going to take the device away from my kid, or don't have it at dinner time. Now, that's one thing they didn't show, is like an entire family of everybody ignoring each other and they're all on their devices. That it would have been nice to have seen that, but yeah.
And I didn't like, that was one thing that was kind of weird, because Bonnie's parents at first are a little concerned about getting her onto the device.
Yep.
But then they just almost like,
yep,
don't even pay attention to it until it's gotten to a point where it's gotten too far. And then finally the mom interjects. But like, that's the thing that kind of bothered me too about the movie. Like, there's no point where it really does kind of lay down the foundation of, yes, it's okay to have technology and use it. It's really fuzzy in my opinion, as far as how it lays out the whole idea of how to use technology and not overuse technology. But
it's a balancing act. I mean, I look at it as a writer, and I mentioned that in my review, is that writing is about selecting options. That's really what it is. And you hope that you pick the right option, both from the perspective of what the audience is viewing, and also as a writer, you're trying to make your life easier. You don't want to pick the option that is makes it really hard to write the dialogue. You're always looking for the easiest options. And, you know, it's a paint by numbers thing where Toy Story now has that, where, something intrudes, failed plan, and then they executed that reasonably well and surprised us here and there with the way they got out of it. I mean, the final Buzz Lightyear thing was like ludicrous. What happened to battery life? I want to talk about excessive battery life. No one's going to bring that up in this movie. Where'd they get all that power from? Anyways.
So do you want realism or not? Come on.
Yeah,
Paul.
you're right. You're right. I want apocalypto. That's what I want.
Whoa.
So,
all right.
there you go. There's our review. This was actually, this is the way the reviews should be.
I think this is a very, very interesting experience in reviewing. This honestly is how reviews should be. Here you have two completely opposing views. And what is really interesting is that you, for the most part, agree on the specifics.
Yeah.
And then it's the evaluation that differs.
Yeah.
But I think, this is fantastic. This is how it should be.
It proves that we're not both morons.
No, exactly.
I mean, I kind of wanted to like a lot of it, like there's bits and pieces where I giggled and chuckled and smiled, and the stuff with Jesse near the end really did kind of, it tug at the right kind of heartstrings. Don't get me wrong, but there's a moment that to me was another problem with the film. Is this is also a Toy Story movie that's being made in a world after Thor: Love and Thunder. And what I mean is you have a very heartfelt moment that was just about had me misting up, killed by a joke.
Did they do that here?
Yes, they did not let a certain moment kind of play out and let it have its emotional conclusion.
Okay, don't mention it online.
I'm not going to say what it is because it is probably one of the better bits in the film. But what happens is there's the army of buzzes comes in and fucking is a joke.
Right.
Then at that moment, like, no longer do they dwell too much. I mean, yeah, it comes back up again, but like, you don't have that normal thing. Like, and this is one thing I brought up last night when I was talking about it on Comics Division is like, and I remind people like, yeah, we talk about Marvel humor and everybody kind of points at James Gunn. It's like, no, James Gunn's not the problem. Remember, watch the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He lets the drama play out. In fact, in the end of part 2, he doubles down on the drama with the Cat Stevens song at the end, right? So in this case, it's like the Taika Waititi type humor where it's like you can't let the audience have a moment of actual, drama without breaking the tension. You can't have it come to a natural conclusion. It has to be broken by a joke, right? And that's almost every scene in this film where there's something that normally would be that touching Pixar moment that gets you sniffling, right? And then you're like, oh, okay, never mind. We're past that now.
There's some very original stuff in here.
There is. I'm not trying to knock it completely. I mean, I would rate it probably like a 4 or 5 out of 10, but I think I gave the fourth film a 4, so I guess I'd have to give this a 5.
I'd give this a 7 easily.
That's being really generous.
No, well, I mean, in your opinion.
Well, yeah,
because to me, Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 are 10 out of 10s. Like, that's a problem. You have a trilogy. Tarantino's not wrong. It's a perfect trilogy. You should have ended it there, right? Like, if anything, you should have just done spin-offs of different characters. Maybe.
Well, I mean, again, you're in the business. You've got a studio, and you have to make money. You're going to do this.
Oh
shit.
Yeah,
so
I totally get why they did this.
From a cynical perspective, this is a surprisingly uncynical feeling movie.
And I don't wish any hate upon it or anything like that. It's going to do fine. It doesn't matter what I say, right? Like I said, even though some people may want to claim that I single-handedly somehow tanked Motu. I don't know how that happens. But
yes, you.
That's your superpower.
Yeah, I've had all the stupid geek kids fucking come after me. And this is a weird thing. Is the main connection I've noticed is it's mostly animation fans, not even really Motu fans. Right, like that's the thing I'm noticing more so is this.
But I know I don't mind looking at it, from a business imperative, and if they succeed from a business perspective without shitting their pants, I'm happy.
I mean, it could be worse, right? Like it could be more like I will give you that much. Like it could be more like Toy Story 4 was, or even a shittier film, and it's doing this well.
Yeah, it's not a shitty film in my perspective.
I mean, how many fifth films? I don't know that are this semi decent. I guess I'll give it that much credit.
Yeah, and I said Beverly Hills Cop 4. I mean, awful. Bad Boys 4, terrible. I mean,
I liked Bad Boys 4, but I hated Beverly Hills Cop 4.
If you I was kind of happy that it wasn't Buzz and Woody up against the tablet, because then it would have been a completely different movie. It would have been about boys and computers, and they treat technology completely differently from girls. What's happened to girls and their complete acquiescence to technology. I'm surprised they tackled that.
That I will give them, but I just feel like they kind of nerfed the landing with it. And I'm not saying they had to out and out like make Lily the bad guy, but they kind of do it, but then it like pulls it back, and like I said, it ends basically. It's all the same story beats as the first Toy Story for the most part, done in different ways, but it's comes to the same damn conclusion by the end, pretty much. So, look, I mean, the only other thing I complain about is Joan Cusack is getting way too old to be voicing Jessie. She sounds like a great grandmother now.
Don't forget, Jessie is 70 years old.
Well, yes, that's true. But I mean, Buzz, like Tim Allen and Tom Hanks sound exactly the same as they did in 1995.
Sure.
Joan Cusack, on the other hand, sounds like she's a lot older, a lot fatter, and had way too many daiquiris.
Hey, how are you? Good
basically. And Paul is back. I was wondering what would happen to you.
I remember being really moved by Jessie's little bit in Toy Story 2 when what's that song? Sarah McLachlan song or whatever.
And that comes full circle in this movie. I will say that much. Like, that aspect of the movie is probably the best part of the movie.
Okay.
How it finally brings Jessie's story full circle. And it will shit on a lot of people's fucking theories, by the way.
Okay.
Because a lot of people have theorized for years that was actually Andy's mother. No.
I see. That's weird. You know so much more about this IP than I do, but I do.
Sadly, I do.
Which is probably you being so granular in knowing so much about it might have set your expectations might have been obviously were higher than.
Actually, they were very low after the fourth film. Like that fourth movie, that was just like, that was straight to video level shit.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen the first three.
No, it was
and a lot of people are telling me there's only 3,
Yes, like that fourth film. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of what's set up in the fourth film is playing out here.
Okay.
Because at the end, in that fourth film, Woody doesn't really have a home.
Yeah, okay.
He still doesn't technically have a home. He's just out helping.
Is that the one with the sporks?
No, Woody's.
No, the fork toy.
That's the movie about him. Yes, that was the fourth film. It's all about the spork guy. Yeah.
Not. Yeah. Bring Kelsey Grammer back.
But yeah, no, it was just. Yeah, he was a much better bad guy. Stinky Pete.
Yeah, Stinky Pete.
Oh no, Toy Story 2 was.
Toy Story 2 is one of those rare. You don't like Toy Story 2?
Loved it.
Oh, I thought you said terrible for a second.
No, brilliant. I absolutely.
I was gonna say it's one of those rare sequels that's better than the first film, actually.
Like
Absolutely, yeah.
But I couldn't go any higher than 10 because 10 was already the 10 for the first movie. So, yeah. But then the third film is almost even better, almost in some ways than the second film.
Do you think this is gonna beat next week's Supergirl? Do you think it'll stay on top?
Oh fuck yeah! James Gunn should be worried right now. Very fucking worried. And we've been saying that for months. Yeah. So this is nothing new. And I don't know who this analyst is that I swear it must have been the Onion or fucking the Babylon Bee
beating Spider-Man.
Somehow gonna beat Spider and what universe? Some alternate universe. Even Superman couldn't beat Spider-Man right now. And I'm a Superman fan, so don't even I'm not even gonna be that delusional.
Oh, the Spider-Man trailer looks great.
Yeah, it really did. It was the best one yet.
Well, look, and we've been saying this for a couple of years now. The only things that are sure things are Spider-Mans and maybe Deadpool's and Batman's. And even Batman is, because kind of the point I got to last night was, look at Superman, because they were talking about Superman supposedly being a flop again. It's like, look, internationally it did underperform, and you could almost probably say it kind of flopped. But nationally it played like better than any other comic book movie has in years, if there wasn't Deadpool or Spider-Man. So on that respect, like, this movie might surprise a little bit, but I don't think it's going to nearly. I don't know who these people are that they think are going to go out and see it all of a sudden, because Superman was a little bit of a different animal than this. And a lot of the people that were even on board with Superman, like myself, are looking at this going, what the fuck are you doing, James Gunn? Like, I think this movie's going to do horribly. It could be wrong, but I don't see where there's a scenario where this movie's good and it makes anything more than maybe $200 million all said and done.
I mean, the way they're set it up, Supergirl is not the 4-quadrant that Toy Story is.
That's
no.
Right.
So no, and if anything, Supergirl's more of a cynical film than Superman, right? Like it's really digging into those aspects of
It's a James Gunn film. He's cynical about this stuff. This is,
but it's not though. It almost goes back to my whole thing before I was saying is when people try to be James Gunn, that kind of shit happens because he's just producing it. He didn't write it.
No,
he's not directing it. All he did was pick the star.
Listen, they just
I know he has great influence, but
they just released a featurette yesterday. Right? You barely hear from the director. It's James Gunn.
No surprise
about this movie.
Well,
and then the first couple of lines that the director says is what James Gunn told me.
Oh, great. Well, there you go, man. James. You're buying in. That's his fault then.
This is his.
He's owning it then.
Well, it looks familiar, and it's tracking below the Flash right now. So that's
Oh, that's bad.
I don't mean the Flash projections. I mean the 53.
All I know is that Spider-Man is going to do buco bucks because they dropped the tickets just the other day, and they had 3 of the Amazon preview screenings in Madison, and then all of them are fucking filled out. Like I got to sit up front to see this fucking movie.
Need to get some wide angle glasses.
Luckily, it's not in 3D this time. It is in 3D, but not in this screening.
Just has that right kind of energy, and I would say that Doctor Strange had it until they screwed it up. Doctor Strange had that unique. Oh, I want to go see this character and watch them in their adventures.
Oh, that was one of the biggest screw ups of the Marvel Universe because you had a character set up who nobody knows, right?
Right.
I mean, he had a decent first outing, but you just put him in the movie with Spider-Man that everybody saw.
Right.
And let's be real, that's the only reason that sequel made any money.
Madness.
Right? It was because everybody thought it was going to be the sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home.
Right.
They go in and they realize this ain't a sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home. This is a sequel to that fucking TV show I didn't watch.
WandaVision,
yeah. See, that was the moment that I've said that before, and I think Andre agrees with you. That's the moment the Marvel Universe was broken.
Right. And
let's
kill the Reed Richards we always wanted.
Yeah, right.
What?
But the beauty of it is see, the thing with the Eternals and a lot of those other movies, you can fucking ignore them. You can still ignore them. Hell, they've been ignoring the fact that there's a fucking huge god sticking out of the earth for the last few movies. They just haven't even addressed it hardly. Right?
That's just sort of where they lost it, though. I mean,
but that is the demarcation moment right there. Yeah. It was when you made a movie that should have been either a sequel to Doctor Strange or a sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home, the movie we just saw this guy in. Yeah. No, instead it's a sequel to a TV show that came out a fucking year ago that nobody watched.
Yeah.
Oh boy, did we love
talking about the Madness movie?
Yeah, Multiverse of Madness, and then to double the piss off, you get a great director on board just to fucking get us bamboozled to go and see it.
Yeah,
and we love Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange as an actor. Like we really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, and make no mistake about it. You hired Sam Raimi. You're doing the follow up to Spider-Man No Way Home. Everybody thought Spider-Man was going to be in this movie, or at least it was going to follow that storyline, because there's still some shit that he's got to fix. First of all, he shouldn't have done that in the first place. He should have known that. We all that's the one thing I think everybody kind of like. Some people pointed it out, but overlooked. Like Doctor Strange wouldn't have allowed that shit to happen in the first place.
Yeah, that's the dumbest part of that. That MacGuffin bothered me to no end. But once we got past that, I was okay.
Know what it should have been at the end, though, Paul? Is it should have been him teaching him a lesson, going like, now that you realize this is wrong, I'll take you back to reality where none of this happened.
Right, and then he pulls down his pants and goes, "Let me." Not that kind of lesson.
No, not Scoutmaster Ken lesson.
No, sorry. Listen, at least Keanu Reeves was in the Toy Story movie
for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, and he's playing a Canadian. So, hey, it
was. What a way to spoil it.
Sorry.
Well, we all know he was in it because he was in the last one.
But
he's hardly in this one.
DC Super Pets too. Keanu does these little fun.
He's hard. Like he might as well not even be in this movie.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, he was the star.
He was one of the stars.
He started on the Skunk Mobile. Don't please do not get me started on that.
Duke Kaboom had a lot more to do in the last film. That he was one of the highlights of the last film. But no, I can't recommend it. But I'm sure you guys are going to get dragged to it with your kids. I'm sure Andre will get dragged to see it with his kids.
You will love it.
he hopefully will at least enjoy it. I don't know if he'll love it. He'll probably see a lot of the same shit I do.
Well, probably, but hey, you know what? As long as the kids have fun, that's
Yeah.
really all I'm asking.
I mean,
Because
there's nothing.
I have the trilogy. I haven't even watched movie number 4. I don't think I'm ever going to, because it's the perfect trilogy. If the kids want to see movie number 5, I can have a good experience with them. It's like the same thing with Super Mario Galaxy. You know what? They loved it. I hated it, but they loved it, and that they're the audience. So
For the most part, you could probably skip for the most part. I mean, some of these characters you're gonna be like, "Who's this? What? Why? What?"
I'm just going to go and probably, like, my body is going to be there. I'll be pretending to enjoy it for the kids. I'll
Conversation's
be
getting really weird.
This is what I did with Super Mario. So
well, the weirder part was having a male play the role of a potty training fucking toy for a girl.
That was so funny.
It was, yes, Conan O'Brien, but like at the same time, I'm going. I'm sorry, Paul. It was like you wrote most of those jokes. They overdid the poop jokes.
Yeah,
that's why you love it so much.
Yeah,
and right now he has to. And now he has to go and ghostwrite something else, because Mr. Chato, unfortunately, has to be leaving, and we also have to move on here because we have some more super chats to run through.
So I got to go. That was fun. I felt very, very literate, like,
We missed you this week, Paul.
Well, I was up camping. And I'm going to go more often. So you're going to, sorry. I got the van out. It's working.
He's getting to that retirement days, huh?
Yeah. I need to go out. Just spend
and when you do have an RV, you do have to use it every once in a while, don't you? Exactly. I mean,
boy, did we hit great weather. I mean, the prognosis at McGregor Point was rain every single day, and it was sun every single day. So
fantastic.
You just got to go out, kids. That's the lesson.
Outdoors.
Yep.
Anyways, love you guys.
Stay away from the screens.
Thank you very much. Yeah, stay away. Which is what we did. We stayed away from our screens. We'll hopefully see you Monday. And I can't think of anything else. Bye.
Enjoy the weekend.
Fantastic. Everyone, be sure to check out Mr. Chato's channel.
Yeah, my review, my controversial review that says I like the movie.
Spoiler. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Citizen Vigilante, because
I'm going to go watch it,
because I do think that you are going to find it even though entertainment wise might not be the movie for you, I do think that you are going to find it socially and intellectually intriguing.
I will watch it.
And you can also wonder about the camera, so I can try to hook
you up. That's what I want to find out.
Ask about that.
You bum.
Okay. Yeah, of all the questions I had for him, I must admit, what cameras did you use was not among them. But I shall keep that in for next time I do an interview. For you, I will ask, what cameras did you use?
And which Sennheiser boom did they use? Okay, bye.
Hey, I've got to handle this piece of freight that's coming in a couple of minutes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you did warn us about that. So thanks for joining us today.
I will. I plan on being back on Wednesday. I'm out on Monday, but I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good weekend. Good to see you, Paulie, Andre, Tom. Sorry you didn't enjoy Toy Story 5. I'll see you guys over the weekend. Check out bleedingfool.com. We'll be there.
Happy Juneteenth.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's move on with these super chats here. And we're going back to the top. Pilgrim Media says for $2, the man with the brutalist building will have you droned. Yeah, Obama did do a bit of that. But of course, right now, it's more people than him doing that. So, yeah. And the Seaman says for $5, how can LA be competitive for productions when the unions and guilds have ludicrous requirements that drive up costs? Well, they do have those requirements wherever it is filmed, as long as it's union, do they not? So that should be fairly equal.
Yeah, 100%. And, you gotta, it's up to those producers that if they're producing something that's independent and the unions come down and, hey, how you doing? We didn't get our cut yet. Literally, you're hearing stories where they had to go get more money to cover that next level because, hey, we're going to unionize your crew. If you don't, and go get it paid, go go get this in the next 24 hours or we're shutting you down.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why this is why there's all these different arguments. Like what's easier? Is it easier to get a feature made under $1 million or for 2 million, 5 million? So what I love is that you're seeing from Justine Bateman to Roger Avery to I forgot the Coon guy, the Asian guy, director. You're seeing them all really talk about how the sausage is being made, Andre, right now, and it's a great time to really get some insight.
Totally.
Yeah, man.
And then we, going back to the start of the show, Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle said, "Good day, all." Well, yeah, indeed. And thanks for that. Pilgrim Media also said, "Happy Garfield the Cat Day, gents." Oh, is that some kind of like Garfield anniversary? Well, let's have some.
Is it his birthday today? I think
this.
As I say, this might be the day that I think the first Garfield comic.
Yeah, that's probably some kind of anniversary.
I'm pretty sure something like that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be like the late 70s or something like that when Garfield first came out.
78, I believe it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I remember June, so that's probably what it is. This is the day that the first comic, I think.
Well, which would that if it's 78, that means in 2 more years it's going to be a nice fat round number then. So that's the time for some celebration.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Did I tell you this? Like I was at a thrift store like 2-3 weeks ago, and I come across a Garfield album. He doesn't actually sing on the album. It's a bunch of other singers, but it's a Garfield album. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, it's one of those things meant to monetize. They're fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the one highlight was it had one of the theme songs from one of the specials in it. So I mean, there was that highlight, but the other thing that was
oldies on its own, because that's the one Garfield.
I don't think it did. I think it had Garfield whatever. Yeah, it was one of the ones that Garfield is coming to Hollywood, or one of the things, or coming to town, or something like that. I can't remember the name of the song now offhand, but yeah, I'll have to check on the Odie song. But no, all the rest of it's like artists like Patti LaBelle and all this shit. And then I look and who did it's like David Grusin is the one who like produced it, and this name just keeps popping up everywhere. This guy, because we were talking about film composers the other day. So this is another guy that I've noticed who's just like everywhere and has his fingers in every single pot for the last 40 years, and I didn't realize it. So like, it's just an off the cuff thing. But yeah, Garfield had an album. Who knew? And it was produced by a very prolific producer. That was the other part that I thought was kind of interesting.
Have we mentioned Michael today yet?
No, you didn't have
not
to.
Until you brought it up right now.
Yeah.
Well, Tom's got to get his quota in. Come on now.
I was being good. I was behaving.
Well, where's it at? What's going on?
Internationally, it's doing very well. It's still hanging out. We'll see how it does this weekend now that it's been in 2 weeks in video on demand, even though it did make, what was it, 7 or 8 million last weekend, I think it was. Or not quite that much, but
what's the cum right now?
I think it's at 931, I believe.
That's crazy.
So I think it's
officially 936.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think it's beat everything it's had to beat. The only thing how much did Oppenheimer make?
And that is including Thursday night. Oppenheimer, I think it's like a little ahead of it.
I was gonna say, I think then it's beat all the records it's had to beat then. So
I mean, it's beaten what is it?
Oppenheimer and Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody had passed up last weekend, but Oppenheimer had a couple more million to make. So then now it's basically the highest grossing biopic and highest grossing musical biopic of all time. The only thing it doesn't have is there's no way it's going to ever reach the biggest film of all time, obviously, but that was the only other thing it really had to.
So Oppenheimer was 976.
Okay, so it's got a little bit farther to go, but what they're saying is Japan and Russia will most likely push that over. Because I guess it did very well in both places this last weekend, and it's looking to do very well. And there was a Juneteenth push for it this weekend at the AMC theaters.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's right.
Which is weird because there's not even that much in the movie that's like race based. But okay, all right, cool. Well, if there's anybody who actually did make a difference in history, there you go. Sorry, go ahead, Andre.
I'm a proud black artist.
Yeah, exactly. Really, that's all that's needed. He's black. Simple as that. No more is needed.
Well, the best part is the scene that it comes up in, and that's the MTV scene, and that shit all happened. Yeah, they truncated it into one scene, but it was real. I mean, like, yeah, MTV flat out said we don't play black artists. We only play rock and roll.
That one. I remember that back then.
Yeah, and Michael opened the door.
News that MJ's videos got on.
And the one thing the movie got wrong is it wasn't Thriller or Billie Jean. It was Beat It was the one that they showed. And the reason they showed Beat It was because it was the rockiest one of the bunch. And they had Eddie Van Halen on it. So they justified it by saying, hey, Eddie Van Halen plays on the song.
I mean, honestly, anyone thinking whoever's trying to do that extra last push of Juneteenth and Michael, that's pretty smart.
Well, what's stupid is they didn't do a sing-along like Japan's doing.
Yeah, that is dumb.
Like Lionsgate, what are you thinking? Like you could throw it in the theaters, add an extra few minutes onto each concert sequence, had the little bouncing ball on the screen. You'd have had Michael fans just blowing up your theaters again. If you gave them something extra to see. I mean, I know a bunch of them are out there pushing right now just to help the movie get past its milestones. They're like going, go see it. But like, you know, whatever. But yeah, happy Garfield Day. And then we went on a Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd much rather see Michael again. I'd much rather see Michael again on Juneteenth than listen to anything from that Obama thing yesterday. That's just
I didn't even see that.
That's just me.
But yeah, no, you're not wrong. Pilgrim Media has become a member. I'm pretty sure you were a member in the past, but he's become a member again and or changed his level. So thank you for that, Pilgrim Media.
Maybe change levels. Yeah.
That could have been too. Exit Seller asks Andre, what movie poster is on your wall? Well,
that is on the poster for Uncaged Fury, starring Johnny Cage. Let's see here.
Yeah, we're like the only two fans of the Mortal Kombat movies. I swear to God.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, that's dope. It is really dope. It is pretty dope. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But the really cool one is this one right here behind me, which is a print of the cover of Savage Sword of Conan, signed by Roy Thomas. I'm really happy with that one.
Yeah.
And of course, I have plenty more posters, including a really cool one I got from Paulie, which is going up at some point. But right now, it is with some signed Weird Al Yankovic posters and stuff like that. It's in storage, which I haven't gotten around to collecting it because that was in Norway the whole time while I went to live in Tenerife.
To Spain.
Yes.
Don't think I forgot about you, Tom. I haven't forgotten about you.
About what?
I'm just saying.
I actually do have a signed Weird Al Yankovic poster for Tom as well, but again, it's there. It's been there for going on 3 years now. So yeah.
I'm back on Carl Urban. I think there's a great performance really waiting for Carl Urban. You know,
make Dredd 2. I mean, there's his signature performance right there.
That, I mean, yeah, or something new as well, but like with him as a lead.
Yeah,
he's always interesting. He's always doing.
He is, but he's not the box office draw. Like he's not the star.
No.
He's a character actor, and he's a brilliant character actor. But from a purely financial perspective, you maybe don't put him in your lead in movies. But I really do hope that there's going to be a Mortal Kombat continuation, and really someone needs to get on Dredd. Of course, the problem, there you have the rights holder.
Yeah,
that's a frustrating thing. The big holdup when it comes to Judge Dredd is the rights holder themselves. I mean, they had Carl Urban, and he was very keen to return for the Judge Dredd TV series that they announced years ago.
I was going to say, in this day and age, I can't believe we haven't got a streaming miniseries of it.
It's entirely the fault of Rebellion, which is the company that owns it, and Jason Kingsley, because he has completely the wrong ideas. I'm sorry, it's the owners that have bought it.
Yeah.
And of course, one more thing is that's the whole problem with delays on these IPs and all that stuff, is that the talent that we love, they're not getting younger.
No, that's true.
Yeah, no. And I mean, it makes no sense to me in this world where we had these streamers just dying to put anything they could on their streaming services that nobody. I mean, it came close. It looked like it for a minute, but like, I can't believe that was one of the things that didn't come to fruition because the internet had been clamoring for a sequel for so long. You'd have thought somebody would have seen it as a slam dunk to go, let's sign Carl Urban and do a Judge Dredd miniseries sequel to the fucking movie and get it up on streaming now.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe they didn't do that
Well,
5-10 years ago.
They had the completely wrong vision, and that's why they lost him, and that's ultimately why the whole thing imploded, because
and
the
that's what they were going
rights
to do, that
holder
Mega City
wanted
show.
to
Yeah.
tell the wrong story, because they wanted to do a woke ensemble bullshit thing rather than do something set with basically guest starring Judge Dredd. And that's like Carl Urban. He didn't agree with the direction they were going, and that is why he essentially declined to come back. And then there was like one corrupt producer that stole a bunch of money, and the whole thing freaking imploded. And the funny thing is that to the rebellion, I mean, they made a whole soundstage. Like Mr. Rage went to visit and everything, like really impressive stuff. And they've done, as far as I know, fuck all with it because they weren't able to get anything going. So yeah, but either way, yeah, Carl Urban is cool. This poster is here for now. We'll see how long it stays, but I thought it was pretty cool. Like, it looks good in the room. It's like nice colors for the color on the wall and everything. And then Hyperguyver has been a member for 45 months, saying, "Rest in peace, David Chase. Her performances as Lilo and Samara of the Ring fame will always be legendary. Poor girl was destroyed by the Hollywood system in the worst ways." Yeah, I saw that she is sadly no longer with us. I do not know the details of her passing, but the way that when he says destroyed by the Hollywood system, then it kind of sounds like she kind of voluntarily took the way out. Is that a fair assessment?
I mean, yes and no. And yes, rest in peace to her. Hopefully she's in a much better place, because she led a really hard life the last few years. Like, when I say the last few years, I'm like talking like 10 whatever years of on and off homelessness, drug addiction.
Wow.
A lot of just.
That's strange. Yeah.
I mean, I'm like kind of like, was covering this a little bit, and it does sound like when you pass away that early of sepsis and malnutrition, that's bad.
Yeah,
it's heartbreaking. So, yep, but at least we have her performances, right?
The problem with Hollywood is it's a machine and it eats a lot of people up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's why you hear of so many, actors who they'll hit it big and then they'll get out of Hollywood. They'll keep working, but they'll literally live,
right?
And keep
anywhere but there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well,
as if she started out as the sister in Donnie Darko.
Yeah,
and then she reprised that in S. Darko.
Yeah.
Well, we do actually have a story that just came across my desk here.
Okay.
That I'm going to put a pin in the super chats for the moment, because this is a story. If it's true, it's a rumor, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's true, it's something that I kind of posited in the past. And according
to
this rumor, after Spider-Man, whatever the fuck this one's called, No Way Back or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, there we go.
Sony and Marvel are in talks to basically buy the rights back to Spider-Man, because I've said it before, this makes absolutely no sense to have this way, and for Sony they could bank on this right now, because Tom Rothman is not somebody who enjoys these films, as we know historically. He doesn't really know what to do with them. And what was hilarious was our reporting on the last Spider-Man movie was almost like 100% confirmed, all the way down to Kevin Feige getting a sandwich thrown at him by fucking Amy Pascal, of all things.
Yeah. I can't believe they confirmed that.
It was her that confirmed it. That was the hilarious part.
I know, right?
So it's like, holy shit, that makes so much more shit more accurate now. Like, oh my God. So yeah, for those who don't know what the fuck we're referring to, back when this deal first came to be, the head of Sony's like, you got to have a meeting with Kevin Feige about Spider-Man. And she's like, fuck that. So then he comes in the room and he's like, hi. And she throws a fucking sandwich at him. I don't know how this woman's still working in Hollywood.
Well, it's connections and relations, and
I
she's made
guess.
a lot
Holy shit!
of
She's
friends.
like, not only does she literally physically assault somebody with a sandwich, she admits to it in the fucking red carpet, and everybody's laughing about it. Like, so basically, the story we heard from that point on was she did not want to work with Marvel. She was just fine and dandy doing her own thing, destroying Spider-Man on her own. Okay, she didn't want anything to do with Marvel. But the head of Sony, and I think Tom Rothman and some other people got in her ear and said, "No, you got to fucking listen to this guy because this is you fucked up the last movie."
Yeah, basically
in
like
so many words.
The order was make it happen, and she knew that she was on her way out the door, so she made it happen. And she would, being a clever businesswoman, because she's very, very clever and keeping relations and stuff, she also was able to, on her own accord, this was not a requirement from Sony, on her own accord, she was able to lock herself in as a producer on all Spider-Man movies going forward. It was like, oh, okay, Kevin, we can do this the easy way with me right now, or the hard way where I block everything and Kasirai has to come in and do it later. We can do it right now. You get your announcement, blah, 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 blah. You need to sign this as well. Take care of me. That's what she did.
And Moon Knight here asks a very good question. And this is a very pertinent, or a very, it's a good question, right? Like, I don't know how else to put that. Makes no sense why Sony would sell Spider-Man, which is the biggest IP.
I can answer that.
Absolutely, and I was just about to, but go ahead.
Yeah, they don't own Spider-Man. Warner owns Batman wholesale. They can do everything with Batman. The only thing that Sony actually has is a lease on the movie rights and some TV rights that they can't do anything else with. They can't do any T-shirts. They can't sell any toys.
Can't do toys or anything.
All of that is Marvel. They basically just have a movie license, which is theirs for as long as they use it. Now, that is what makes it different from the Batman situation. Batman, you can monetize always through Sunday. You can do the same thing with Spider-Man, but all of that money goes to Marvel, not to Sony.
Exactly. And that leads me to
restricted to the movies.
And that leads me to why I came up with this scenario to begin with, if you guys remember, because even before it was confirmed, I was hearing that Tom Rothman was pissed. And then a story came out saying the exact same thing I said was, he said, so basically we just made a big fucking $300 million commercial for fucking Disney toys.
Correct. That's exactly what happened.
So for what I'm talking about, for those who don't know, was Tom Rothman realized that they weren't making any fucking money on the Spider-Verse films. Even though those movies were somewhat successful, they didn't see a fucking dime for the toys. And those movies made over $2 billion in toy sales. He was livid to the point where he's like, this is part of the reason I heard that Spider-Man 3 didn't happen right away. Had nothing to do with the controversy with the actor or any other bullshit that this is why when the actors on the red carpet for part 2 and stuff were asked, well, have you guys done anything for part 3 yet? And even though it's left on a cliffhanger, that's why. Because Tom Rothman was to the point where he's like, I don't know if we're going to continue doing this. And then I found it funny that he said, what was it, about a month or two ago, that he's like, oh yeah, we're thinking about doing the Spider-Man thing again. A year after he said, no, we're done with this shit. Because every fucking one of these has failed except for Venom. So from what I heard is he blew his fucking lid over this whole thing because they basically just made a $200-300 million commercial for Disney. Because they didn't see a fucking dime off of any of that shit.
Morbius is not a failure. Just saying.
It's glorious. Yes, I know Morbius is glorious, but Tom Hoffman would argue with you.
The glorious thing with Morbius is that the only thing that helped Disney was that it helped them push some paperback sales of old Morbius back issues. It didn't help Disney anything other than that. But everything,
if anything, it hurt them
with Spider-Man. It's ultimately to the benefit of Disney. More so than themselves.
So like I said, and I proposed that day when I was talking about that, I'm like, it would make more sense for Sony to just take a nice fat payday from Disney for the rights that they have left, and then just kind of work out some deal where they get, a percentage of all the Spider-Verse movies going forward and any of the Tom Holland movies going forward. And then from there on out, then they're done. Because that would make the most sense financially for everybody at this point. And I know some people are like, well, that would make no sense for Sony, but yes, it would, because they've been doing nothing but dumping money down this pit. And that's why Tom Rothman was really reluctant to get that third Spider-Verse movie off the ground.
And also,
yeah, go ahead.
There's another thing here. You also have to keep in mind, the company Sony. The company may be forever, but the people running it are only there for a limited time.
Right.
Now, obviously, they have a fiduciary responsibility to the company, and they have to be able to defend what they do. But they're not necessarily going to be like, okay, now we feel that Sony or Spider-Man has to be locked up with Sony forever. Tom Rothman can perfectly well look at the box office and the trends and argue to the shareholders behind him that, look, this thing is no longer going to make the kind of money that it used to. The superhero hype machine is over, and we are going to be far better off making a killing on one massive sale right now. It's going to be bonuses all around. It's going to be extra dividends for you shareholders. I'm going to get my bonus. You're going to get your bonus. And then I've sweetened the deal so that we get a percentage of the next thing that they have to do for the next 5-10 years. And then it's done. And who the hell cares? Because none of us is going to be here anyway. Then it's going to be a different board. It's going to be a different shareholders. It's their problem. We have done our fiduciary responsibility, so we have maxed everything for the company for when it matters to us, and we get to personally gain from it as well. So let's do it, and everyone is going to be fine, and it's going to be signed off by accounting and everything, because it's a win-win for everyone. And is it a win for Sony 10-15 years hence? Probably not, but no one cares, because it's a win for the people there now.
But they're not making any money now. And see, what you just said to me, Andre, was pretty much almost verbatim what I had heard happen behind the scenes. And what's making me believe this story is buried in this story is the type of shit that I was hearing, and I speculated from what I was hearing, because the rumor was basically Tom Rothman said, we have made the most money we're going to be able to make off this. And like you just said, they were facing the fact that these movies are not a sure thing anymore. Sure, Sony of 10 years from now, they may not have Spider-Man, but guess what? Spider-Man may not be worth a shit in 10 years.
Yeah. And in 10 years, it's going to be a different board. It's going to be different shareholders.
People, exactly.
Different people. They don't care, because
they're not making any money off this.
Yeah, no. They care about maximizing the profits all across the board now when they're in charge, and also not to do anything that's going to land them in jail or be in violation of fiduciary responsibilities. Sell this thing off right now is perfectly defensible, and then it's going to be for whoever runs Sony in 10-15 years hence. They're going to have to solve out other things.
You know what makes me believe it even more was that Tom Rothman went out and said they're going to continue to do this even after he said he didn't. You want to know why? He ain't got no intentions of doing anything. He's just beefing it up.
He's driving up the price.
Exactly. There's your video, Andre.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's driving the fucking price up right now. Yeah. He's driving the price up right now, so then he knows that he can maximize what Disney has to pay for the son of a bitch, and then he'll sweeten the deal, like you said, with just give me a percentage of the Spider-Verse movies and the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies going forward. We're done. And like you said, then that makes money in Sony's pocket, and they don't have to do a fucking thing. They just made probably... How much do you think they could make off this sale? They could make at least a couple billion, I think.
Well, I can just consider Paramount, because most people have forgotten this.
Well, I was going to compare it to Star Wars.
You had the Paramount logo ahead of the Avengers and Iron Man 3, but they had nothing to do with, actually very little at least, with
they were just distributing them. Yeah,
they were already bought out at that point by Disney. Disney had taken over, and Paramount only got marquee credit. It was some of the most profitable movies they ever made, because they didn't even make them. They just had to sit back, lift their feet up, and just see the money flow.
Now, that might have been the most costly thing that ever happened in movie history, but I think Tom Rothman, if he makes this move right now, as many people that are going to be pissed at him for it, it'll probably be the most profit Sony has made in years, and they'll just sit back and make money. Because I get what you're saying, and to me that was a stupid move for Paramount, because we all know that they could have owned Marvel for a song.
Yeah. Paulie, you were saying?
No, are we done with the clip? We're going to clip this?
Oh, he's clipped it.
No, I was just thinking, man, Sony just really kind of just lost so much money on that Madam Web, but they had Sydney Sweeney, man.
Well, that's kind of where I think Tom Rothman realized that this thing was a sinking ship, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, nothing but Spider-Man is worth anything. So why would you continue this crap?
And Sydney Sweeney was the absolutely only one to walk away from Madam Web unscathed and with a higher profile.
No.
And that's because it wasn't her movie, and
It's
she
not
was the
her
only one who
movie.
joked about it.
Yeah, I mean, Isabella Merced's in it. Dakota Johnson.
That's what I mean. She wasn't the main star, so
I
she
don't
was
think
kind
Dakota
of.
Johnson gives a crap.
No, well, Dakota's a big enough actress, and she's got enough
right, yeah,
cushioned around her to where she was fine. But yeah,
I think the persons that were probably really hurt on her is probably the director.
Absolutely,
and the producers.
And this was the moment where we were hearing that Tom Rothman's like, "Fuck this." And he said, "We are done making these Spider-Man spinoffs." He fucking said that flat out.
Did you see the stuff that Sydney posted? Like her like unreleased edited out scenes?
No.
Oh my god, dude! It's like her.
How did she get access to these?
It's her in the onesie, in different positions, doing her thing.
Are you sure it wasn't AI?
No.
She was posting it. He said.
No, it was like a few months ago though. It was relatively.
Was it like,
new.
or was it like tests, like costume tests and shit? Or
No,
what was
and they
it?
said that she's like, we shot a lot, and I did a lot of training, and I was in my outfit. Just like that's
that's the thing about.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Movies nowadays are getting so weird now that they're filming everything digital. There's so many times where they're filming like 3 movies in one, and we only get to see one of those 3 movies. I swear. And Michael is a grand example of that. Because every day I learn of something new that got shot that didn't. It's like they shot just about everything you could think of, but yet it just didn't make it in the movie. It's like, what else did they shoot? Like, I'm waiting for tomorrow to find out. It's like same thing with fucking like Superman and some of these other things that are not Superman, Batgirl and shit like that is like, when they canceled that. But like, I mean, I wonder how many of these movies where it's like, how much of the shit are we not seeing? Like of the Madam Webs and the other crappy movies that are out there, and the Marvels is another. Sure. Marvels was another one I was trying to think of because it was so short. I'm like, God, there's got to be a bunch of this movie chopped out.
Yeah. But anyhow, back to the super chats. Let's get back to the super chats. Yeah.
Let's. Drew Tipton says the Army of Buzzes comes from a rightfully scrapped idea for Toy Story 3. Kind of annoyed to see it in a new film. Yeah, it would have been better kind of as its own little thing. I mean, the way they convolutedly cross over in the film is kind of dumb. And then we got Accident Seller, I believe that is, with another 20 Norwegian krona saying Toy Story 6 with adult Andy, but Andy transition. Don't give him ideas. Because they definitely are planning on doing more. I mean, this movie clearly doesn't like end anything.
Dude, you're gonna have Toy Story 6, 7, and 8 after this Thursday alone.
Guaranteed. John Evans Bear says, when is Tom having his coming out party? I'm coming out. I want the world to know. The gay anthem. Now that's the real gay anthem. Fuck this. What's going on bullshit. That's the gay anthem we grew up with, right, Paul? You knew exactly what I was singing.
Diana Ross is still a huge gay icon.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was the gay anthem for years.
And,
yeah.
One of Romy's best friends, they went to see Diana Ross last year. I mean, it was just like, gay to J Street. I mean, she knows her people. You got to respect.
Absolutely.
Diana.
Absolutely, she does.
That's a great song, though.
I never heard that term before.
DCB
Titans. This funny part of the Grape Report is a response to it. It's specifically the projected scale and how the rate is too high, coming from the same people a decade ago, trumpeting the feminist 1 in 3 rate. Okay, so are you talking about in general here?
He's talking about very specifically the report from the UK on the cover-up of the grooming from primarily Pakistani gangs, where native British women and underage girls were victimized, and local authorities, police, none of them wanted to do anything, pretend it didn't happen, because they were afraid that perceptions might cause racism, right? If you just see what's actually happening. And the response at the time was, no. This never happened. Never happened at all. You're just dreaming. You're just being racist. And now the response is, okay, fine. It did happen, but it didn't happen to 250,000. It only happened to 50,000. So it's all good. That's the defense right now. And I'm not even joking. That's a literal defense. It's like, no, the numbers are inflated. It's not 250,000. It's only 50,000. So it's fine then. Nothing to see here. Move along. Only 50,000 were groomed. That's their defense.
Cowards.
So,
cowards.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting.
I have no words, or I do, but they are significantly worse than cowards. I mean, we have a word in Norwegian.
Yeah, be nice.
Kind of like it. Yeah, quisling. Yeah. Quisling. That's a good word for that.
Well, what's hilarious about a lot of these movements is they're built on this idea of injustice when there's more injustice involved with this bullshit than I've ever seen in my entire fucking life.
Yeah. And the funny thing is the people who are behind this are the very feminists who are victimized, and they are the ones who are consistently voting and pushing for this. But we have to move on here. We have
that's an onion. You can keep
it's definitely an onion.
Okay, now Drew wants me to check your DMs, so you have to do that in the meanwhile. While you're doing that, Dark King says for $5 Australian, I was expecting a Toy Story movie aimed at girls to involve more female deer playing with pickles. For the slow people, dildos. Okay, yeah, well, there's always Toy Story 6, 7, and 8. Who knows what's going to happen there? Yeah.
I was good with the first 3, Andre. They haven't seen 4. I'm not going to see 5, so.
I agree. Like I'm good with the first 3. I have never seen 4, but I'll probably see 5 because I have to see it with the kids because they want to see it. So I'll do the same thing with that as I did with Super Mario Galaxy, which is watch it with half an eye, pretend to be intrigued for the kids, but really my mind is going to be elsewhere. So yeah. Jill Powers has been a member for 25 months.
You're a good dad.
We are, of course, they have to share time with the kids, like they want to see it. It's about them having a good time, not me having a good time. Because some of I love it when a movie is made so that it's accessible to parents in addition to the kids. I mean, this is why Peppa and Bluey is so popular because it's fun for the parents too. Because there's so many things there that go straight over the attention span of the kids, but that parents pick up on, which is tremendous.
Really quickly, guys, I want to give Andre and men like him mad love. It's in America this Sunday. It's Father's Day, and I loved everything you just said, man. Just as a selfless father, and to all the fathers out there, big love. It's your day. Fathers don't get any praise like the mothers do, but that's all right. But I just wanted to give Andre and all the fathers that are raising children right now big props.
Cheers. That's much appreciated.
Saludos.
And then 91 Moon Knight says Paulie said Sydney Sweeney as Supergirl would make $1 billion. You say that?
I'm not even sure she could save Supergirl, but yeah, I think it would do better than what we got.
I said this a while ago, but I'm just but I'm also saying like anything Sydney Sweeney,
I honestly don't think there's a world where Supergirl makes $1 billion is all I was going to say. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. But Sydney Sweeney, what I said as Red Sonja, that's your $1 billion.
You did say that a couple weeks ago, but the caveat is that
years ago,
and I don't know what you're smoking.
The caveat is that we got to have sexiness.
Absolutely. Of course.
I can agree with that aspect, but yeah.
And then it'll make a lot of
it needs to be the skimpiest chainmail bikini ever. Mm-hmm. And it needs to have a really cool story, and it needs to have the Frank Frazetta visuals. Then it's going to have something for everyone. It needs to not shy away from the male gaze. It needs to be like, this is all about the male gaze. So ladies, you're going to love it too. That's how but again, it's not happening. Moving on, Drew Tipton says for $4.99, someone animated a reunion between Woody and Andy using audio from Castaway and a Woody model from Kingdom Hearts 3. I sent it to Tom.
Yeah, why did you send it? Because I can't find it.
Yeah, well, we're not going to get copyright struck by playing it, but that
Yeah, I
sounds
don't want
like
to
a
get.
tremendous idea anyway.
Yeah, because I
And
didn't I
then
didn't see it on X, and I don't see anything on
and
Facebook.
Ginormous J says for $2, Spider-Man brand giveaway. Yeah.
Pretty
But
much.
there's a lot of money is going to be given the other way in order to make that happen.
From what I heard, Tom Rothman blew his fucking lid, and that's why I scratched my head when I heard him saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go pursue some more Spider-Man movies." Now it makes fucking sense
Now
if this
it does
rumor's
make
true.
sense. Absolutely. Makes
Absolute
perfect
fucking
sense now.
sense from a
Yeah.
business perspective, because in
Totally.
that way, yeah, they could charge Disney out the ass because they got
Yeah.
7 movies in production.
Indeed. But we actually have gone through all of the super
We
chats
did.
that we have in
Nice.
production here. Do we have anything over on the green machine?
I didn't have it up, so I'm hoping the mod squad caught any if there was. It doesn't look like there was. So
Well,
I'm
we're
assuming
good
there
then.
was not. All right.
All right, cool. Paulie, what you got going on? What you got coming up?
In a couple hours, I'm going to be live with Robert Meyer Burnett, and we're going to talk
Oh,
about
nice.
the
Yeah.
state
Tell
of
him, hey.
sci. Yeah, we're going to talk about the state
Give
of
him
sci.
our best regards.
I've been trying
Of
to get a
course.
hold of him, actually.
Of course, if you guys are around, you guys are welcome to hop on.
I don't want to
We're
bother
going to talk
him on
about the
your
state
show.
of sci-fi on film and sci-fi on TV for 2026 and some other smaller stuff. But it's always great to have him on talking film and stuff.
Absolutely.
No, I've been trying to reach out to him for a couple things and I haven't heard back.
He's very hard to.
I figured he's been real busy lately. It seems like so.
In fact, we had to move
past-
this around a few times because he's got his other show he's a co-host of during the day.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So yeah, I'll just tell him I said hey, and hopefully he's doing well. And been trying to get a hold of him, but nothing that important.
You got it.
All right.
Yeah. I'll just pass my generalized regards.
With
All
that,
right. Well, fantastic. Do check that out, and also check back over the weekend. We have more videos dropping. I'm the bottleneck because I have like 3 videos in process, plus the interview with Uwe Boll, which I'm quite happy with.
So
although
cool.
it's a slug to edit. I do have to admit that. And
Mhm.
we're gonna have to have 2 versions of it. It's gonna be a Rumble exclusive because he gets passionate, and we're gonna be taken off of YouTube if we were to put.
Why am I not surprised?
Be full. To put it this way, we were supposed to have him for 15 minutes. He had fun, so we got 50 minutes out of it, and yeah,
That's great.
Passionate. Yeah.
I love when that happens.
But requires some editing before it can be released, plus a Rumble exclusive. So yeah, you can imagine. Meanwhile, I do recommend Citizen Vigilante. That is an indie movie that is well worth checking out. I think Chris Gore liked it as well, so I do believe it has his stamp of approval. At least that's the impression I got.
I could see Chris liking something like that, yeah. And Paul recommends Toy Story 5. I do not. So you got a 50-50 shot.
That means you go and you make up your own mind.
I think most people are going to be fine with it overall. Only some select folks are going to really see the problems I had with it.
I recommend The Furious.
There you go. So yeah, there's other movies to see. That's the other beauty of it all.
Those are badass movies to see. It's called The Furious.
See that.
It's
and is Uwe Boll's movie coming out in theaters, or is it just where's it coming
streaming?
I probably it's just on streaming, and it's not coming out in Germany. So everyone in Germany, you want to get your VPN fired up. You want to Surfshark this.
All right. So and use the term midnight when you're checking out to save some cash, kids.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh yeah, no, because that movie was already like the excuse they used was that it's like basically too mature and they can't give it an R rating. It would be rated X, so they can't release it. This is the official reason, and that reason is complete and total bullshit. The real reason is that they don't want to release it because they're afraid it's going to be inciting. That's a real reason, and it's obvious. So
right.
yeah, do check out that movie. It's quite cool. And have a great weekend, everyone. Check out Latinos Land. Be sure to say hi to R&B in the chat and let them know we sent you. Check out the rest of the panelists. Do check out Cultured Casino and all the other regulars as well as your favorite YouTubers. Do check them out, because Lord knows this platform ain't recommending anyone. It's kneecapped us all. It's a pain in the ass. But yeah, and with that,
speaking of superhero movies, I just want to say happy 45th anniversary to Superman 2.
There you go. Yeah,
that's a good one to watch.
Yeah, especially the Donner cut.
Oh.
All right. Well, take care of yourself, kids, and have a good weekend. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And
let's bring out the koalas in the
koalas in the rain.